Another sneaky right hand. This time he works over the shoulder of Foreman. It's a combination. Three, four, five, six. Foreman gets up to the knee. Eight. That's it. The fight is stopped.
George Foreman just lost his heavyweight title against Muhammad Ali. The most dangerous man on the planet lost a fight nobody expected him to lose. He was supposed to be unbeatable. Ali proved to everyone that George is just a human, like the rest of us. However, this loss hurt George more than we could ever imagine. He was never the same after it. He was a broken man.
I felt like I'd lost everything, not just the championship of the world, but I'd lost myself as a man.
That scary, unrelenting persona was gone. He was forgotten. And his loss to Jimmy Young solidified that in the minds of many. Soon after, George retired from boxing to focus on running his church and the youth center. Once the scariest fighter in the world is gone from the sport, boxing lost a great, or so we thought. Fast forward to the year 1987. George announced his return to the ring. He needed money for his youth center. That was the sole reason why he decided to come back. People were surprised by the decision, and it's no wonder. He weighed over 300 pounds and was severely out of shape.
Veteran boxer George Foreman will put on the gloves and climb back into the ring after almost a decade in retirement. Some skeptics think that this is just ridiculous. Foreman is just too old.
Foreman looked slow, big, and just not very good. Still, he won by TKO in the 4th round. The critics went after him, claiming Foreman would achieve nothing apart from getting himself hurt and embarrassed. Surely, this wasn't going to end well. How could a former champion that wasn't active for a decade do anything other than get absolutely dominated by young, up-and-coming fighters? Ask George Foreman. He racked up 23 wins, with 22 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Now, a 42-year-old man showed over the past 4 years that he's still a menace. He still has that unbelievable knockout power, but this time, he wasn't angry. He wasn't trying to intimidate opponents. He just went in there, knocked you out in a couple of rounds, made a few self-deprecating jokes, and went home. He was becoming the people's choice.
Well, when I was young, I had a left hook and a right hand.
Yeah.
When I came back, I decided I had to be stronger, so I developed a left hook, right hand, and a belly bump.
So you could...
And in April of 1991, he was fighting for the world heavyweight title. 17 years after his last title fight. With the win, he would become the oldest heavyweight champion of the world. However, there was just one problem. He was fighting Evander Holyfield, the undefeated heavyweight champion of the world. Nobody gave George a chance.
We're going to have a lot of fun, but rest assured one thing. There's going to be one winner. Evander, real deal, Holyfield.
Even though the fight attracted huge interest, a mood of skepticism hung over the whole affair. Many feared the contest would prove farcical, that Foreman was not a real challenger, and that this was going to be a one-sided beating. Evander Holyfield wasn't going to lose to an old man, and he didn't. He beat Foreman by unanimous decision. But George put up a fight, even hurting the champ on a few occasions. And in the final 2 rounds, to everyone's amazement, it was the much younger champion who appeared the more exhausted fighter, as he repeatedly clinched and hung on to get to the final bell. But the final verdict hardly mattered. If ever a boxer found victory in defeat, it was the 1991 version of George Foreman, who not only proved that he was a legitimate top contender and that his worst critics were dead wrong, but who also forced boxing experts and historians to re-evaluate his standing in the heavyweight pantheon.
He is still the showman. He is just a remarkable human being who has just breathed a whole lot of fresh air into this division, Al.
After that fight, there was one name being constantly put into the mix with George Foreman, and that name was Mike Tyson. When Don King offered the fight to Mike, Mike simply replied, "I'm not fighting that fucking animal. If you love the motherfucker so much, you fight him." Supposedly, Mike didn't want to fight George because of his late coach Cus D'Amato. He warned him of Foreman's boxing style, which was perfectly tailored to counter fighters like Mike. And considering Cus was the person Tyson admired most in the world, it's not surprising that this fight never came to fruition. Foreman's fight with Holyfield wasn't his last heavyweight title fight. 2 years later, he would fight Tommy Morrison for the vacant championship. Again, he lost by unanimous decision.
I don't think I'm going to box anymore. I mean,
I kept saying it, and I got my wife thinking about it. She's already saying, we're going to go on the sands of so-and-so. We're going to lay out, and we're going to eat this, and we're going to have this. And so I've given her the impression that for the next year, we're going to ride around and have fun.
Surely, this was the end. The impossible dream of regaining his title was going to stay impossible. Well, I probably wouldn't be telling the story if that were the case. A year went by and Foreman wasn't active. He just didn't fight. There were lots of people claiming that he gave up. They were wrong. After the current champion Michael Moorer declined to fight Lennox Lewis, George took the chance and issued a challenge to the champion. Moorer saw it as an opportunity to earn a lot of money without breaking a sweat. He didn't think Foreman was a threat, but his popularity would bring viewers. He accepted the challenge and the fight was on.
Some of you will see as a legitimate heavyweight championship test for the mysterious young champion, Michael Moorer. Many more of you will no doubt see it as a burlesque piece of theater, featuring the clown king of the sport, the larger-than-life George Foreman.
While the fight is often recalled as a lucky punch win, I've never viewed it that way. George did it. 20 years after losing his title, he regained it. He became the oldest heavyweight champion in the world. A once broken man, doubted by many. He proved everyone wrong. He proved to everyone that greatness is not measured by age. He proved that that scary beast from 2 decades ago is still there, just in a more worn-out, less frightening body. And he proved to everyone that the name George Foreman, this time, will not be forgotten.
Well, for all of my old buddies in the nursing home and all the guys in jail, always remember that song, When You Wish Upon a Star. Doesn't matter who you are, anything your heart desire can come to you.
I lost everything I ever had. I used to have a big house, Rolls Royce car. I remember going out after boxing my first time, and all I had was a garage, and it was about to be repossessed. But I got a second chance, and I took advantage of it. That's what a second chance is all about, taking advantage of it.